I'm Pat Quinn, and you're watching The Red Booth Show.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Q, and welcome to The Red Booth Show. On tonight's episode, you're going to get to know Pat Quinn, who is a comedian. He does stand-up in LA and also has awesome stuff online too, so come and join us. All right, so hey Pat, how's it going?
Hey, I'm doing great.
Good.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad you came on the show.
I'm glad to be here. On the big red bench.
Booth. Yes.
Big red booth.
That's right.
It's like a diner, kind of. Is that the theme?
This actually came out of a 50s diner. Like originally, it was actually in a restaurant. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's authentic.
So this is real. This is the real deal.
It's the real deal.
So there's been real old people just sitting all over this thing,
Definitely.
buying 10-cent
and so
smoothies
many.
and yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
It's got history in it. You can smack this and the dust comes out and it's like Marilyn Monroe's ashes. That's pretty cool.
That's
yeah.
right. That's
yeah.
How did you know that?
Trust me, I've got a wealth of knowledge. I just have information like this.
Well, see, I'm really happy to have you here because I love the whole stand-up comedy industry, and it's such a challenging thing to do as well. And it's like this LA scene has its own sort of special uniqueness to it with that, and I think it's probably the biggest scene too for stand-up comedy.
Yeah, I mean, like New York rivals. You know, New York's kind of like. The thing with New York is you can do like 5 sets in a night.
Have you been to New York?
I have been to New York. I actually just went for the first time like 2 months ago. I quit my job.
Wow.
So I had a job for almost 6 years. I was making good money, and I said, you know what? I don't like money anymore. I'm gonna go full dream. And so I quit. And the next day that I had quit, I just went straight to New York and was out there for like a week. It was my first time really going there too. I went there as a child when I was like in 8th grade.
Wow.
But I didn't really get to experience it, you know, because my parents were like there and we were like, oh, let's go look at like kids stuff and like go to the park. And it was still fun, but this time I finally got to go out and kind of go out at night and see like the comedy scene and see what it was really like. And I did a bunch of shows, which was really fun.
That's awesome.
But you can hit multiple shows in a night versus LA, where you can do that, but it's a little more.
It's a little
difficult.
Further apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to
it
drive for.
I would say
traffic.
like LA is kind of like a New York City, but they just like.
Spread it out.
It's like Play-Doh, and they just push down. They go, yeah, you gotta go across. Then I gotta take a $90 Uber to get to your next gig, whatever it is, and yeah. So it was really fun to go out there and check out New York and kind of see that whole scene and see how they operate.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What place would you recommend for people to go to see a good stand-up?
In here, in LA,
in New York.
In New York, I mean, the Comedy Cellar it's got a lot of history to it. And it was really fun. I keep looking at the camera. Should I not do that?
No, you can totally say hi to everybody.
Hey guys, how you doing? I don't know where I'm looking, but I feel like
we have 3 cameras.
Yeah, it's just, okay.
So it's.
I just want to make sure I wasn't like breaking the wall. I'm like, be like, oh, we know that they're there. Okay. Yeah, the Comedy Cellar is really awesome. There's like a very unique history to it. They just put a second one in as well over there in New York, and we went there and it was really super fun to go check that out.
That's
There's always
awesome.
like awesome guests dropping in at that show, and it's got like that New York vibe to it, where you go into a basement, you know, and it's like low ceilings, and I would recommend that. But there's just a multitude of places to go. I did a show at a pizza shop when I was out there.
You did?
Oh yeah, there's like so many little pop-up shows all over the place.
Seriously? Are they like, hey, we're booking you at the pizzeria?
I can't remember what the place was. It had some different name. Didn't say like pizza in it. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. This would be. So I just was like hitting up random people just to do shows when I was heading out there. I don't really know that many people out in New York yet. And some guy was like, oh, yeah, come to my show at like Padone, like Jim's, or I don't know what it's called. And I get there and I was like, oh, it's a pizza shop. And I was like, cool. But it's really cool. Like a lot of these places will have, like I went to a bar and I go, is there a show up here? And they go, oh no, it's downstairs. And you like turn a corner, there's like some weird little staircase into a basement. It's like a whole other big room with like, like all the stage set up and stuff. It's a very unique type of town in that way. Where
That's
LA,
awesome.
we don't have basements here, right?
No.
No, people don't even know what basements are.
That's true.
Yeah. They're like, is that when you dig and you go under the ground? It's like, no, that's a coffin, but.
Well, and so you've also done obviously a lot of the circuit here too.
Yeah.
What is some of your favorite places to do stand-up here?
Well, I mean, the clubs are always like, I have a great time at the clubs. Like the Comedy Store is a great one. I run a show there, a monthly show, and
Oh, cool.
that one's just got a great history to it as
You
well.
run a show, like you have other comics and stuff?
Yeah. Yeah,
Awesome.
I run a monthly show there, and it's really, you get to meet a lot of cool people doing that, you know? I mean, I've been doing comedy for a handful of years now, but actually having a show like that where you can invite them to come do a really fun show. And these guys will do like other bar shows sometimes and stuff as well, but it's fun to get them at these club spots. So meeting like some good people that way. And then, I mean, honestly, there's like such good like backyard shows and stuff in Los Angeles.
Really?
Like, yeah, I live on the west side of LA, like over by the beach. And I used to run a cool show. We used to have a house. I lived in Playa, right? And I had this house with like it wasn't a very big backyard, but it was big enough. And I was like, I want to try and do a comedy show back here. And I did one just as like a little test, and it was like amazing because there's not that much comedy on that side of town. So people wanted to see some good comedians. And so, so we did that, and I kept it going for like a year. And then our
at your house, you're just doing it there? That's
yeah, we
so
do a monthly
awesome.
show and get some decent sized comics to come out. But it was also like, you know, it's super far from like the clubs and stuff in Hollywood, so it would really be like a lot of begging on my end.
Those are all the people that don't have to drive as far, so they all want to come and see it at your house.
Yeah, like all the people who are locals would come out to that show. But as far as getting comedians, most of those guys are in Hollywood or like you know, a little bit further east.
This is a real deal in Los Angeles. The traffic and the driving is like we have to plan our lives around that.
Yeah.
So that's part of it. It's
Oh,
a huge
100%.
part of it.
Like I don't date anybody east of the 405. If you live past the 405, it's not gonna work out. And I put that in my Tinder profile. I say you must live within like 7 blocks of me.
It is crazy though.
It's crazy.
It takes forever.
It takes forever to do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I can meet a girl who's like perfect. I'm like, oh, I love this girl so much. She's amazing. Like, I can meet her at a bar. I'm like, where do you live? And she's like, Burbank. And I go, honestly, this is it. This is where you start paying for your own drinks the rest of the night, and we go our separate ways.
All of a sudden, it got really quiet.
It did.
Anyways, actually, we have to take a quick break, and we will be right back with comic Pat Quinn. Okay, welcome back to the Red Booth Show. I'm here with comic Pat Quinn. How's it going?
It's going great.
Cool.
Feeling good.
Good. So he's been bringing comedy to the West Side, as well as obviously performing all around town in some of the big venues here. Well, I wanted to ask you, like, when you were starting to get into comedy, how old were you, and what was like the first thing that the first time when you actually did a stand-up show? Like, how did that come about? Like, how did you?
Well, I got a story for that.
Because that's a big thing. The first time you actually do a stand-up show is a big deal.
It was a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody was out. There's managers, agents. They're like, we want to see this guy. We don't even know who he is yet, but I feel something in the air. We feel there's like a new amazing creative coming out. And no, that was not at all what happened. I started doing stand-up about 5 years ago. And so I lost a bet to start doing comedy is what happened. Because I used to, I'll tell you the whole story.
I'm like, what?
It's a fun story. Like, I always did like sketches growing up, and like I was always like the class clown. I was always goofing around, making my friends laugh. But I never had even really considered stand-up as an option. I hadn't watched that much stand-up. I loved comedic acting. I wanted to get more into that side of stuff. And I moved to LA, and I'm like, I'm not gonna do anything in front of the camera. I went to school for TV and film. I'm like, I'm gonna be behind the camera again. And then so we lived at this house. We made a bubble hockey table, which is like a foosball table with a big hockey or big bubble over it, and it's hockey. And we started getting like really good at this thing because somebody gave it to us from a TV show. And so we started like getting really good. We were playing 2-on-2 with me and my roommates.
Nice.
We would play like 8 games a day to the point where we could pass the puck on this stupid little game. Like we were like really, really good. And so we started doing bets. We're like, all right, if you lose, you need to wash the cars or wash the dishes or blah, blah, blah. And so me and my teammate were down like 4 things, like wash the car, do the dishes, do the laundry, and blah, blah, blah. And then my other roommate worked for an Italian management agency at the time, and he was like, and he always wanted me to get into comedy. And he goes, all right, if you guys win, it's all washed clean. You don't have to do any of that stuff.
Right.
But if you lose, you need to do all that and do a stand-up comedy night. And in my head, I was kind of like, okay, like I want to do stand-up comedy. It'd be fun to do it. And if it doesn't go well, then I can say, it was just a bet, dude. I didn't want to do it. I had a great excuse to be like, oh, well, I sucked because I didn't care about it because I didn't do it. And so I lost this bet, and he got me set up at some show at the Comedy Store. It was actually my first show.
The Comedy Store?
Yeah.
That's actually, kind of a big venue to be your first.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, it's a bringer show, which is like people will just kind of get popped onto the show as long as you can bring people with you. But it was still a big deal to have not had any experience just to jump right up in that store. I mean, it's like one of the best known clubs in the world.
Yeah. That's crazy that was your first time.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
And actually, I don't know why I hadn't really been pieced this together, but the room that I do my show at right now, which is the belly room upstairs of the Comedy Store, is the first show that I did there. So it's kind of come full circle.
Whoa.
Oh my God, I didn't even realize where my career's come. My career is so stagnant. It's in the same place as the first show I ever did. No, I'm kidding. I love that room. So that was really cool. So I lost that bet and I did that, and my buddy and I had to do a show together. And when the show was over, he's like, I'm never doing it again. It's like, that's not for me. He's very like type A, and I go, oh, I'm doing it. I'm gonna keep doing it. So I kept doing it, and like I would just kind of do it like maybe like twice a month.
Did he
like,
do it too? Did they both?
We both did it at the same time.
Oh, okay.
And then then he was like, I'm done with this. I'm not doing it. And so I kind of like stayed with it like a little bit, where I would do a couple shows here and there. And I was
How long were the first shows? Like
the first one we did, I think was like 8 minutes. Which can be a lifetime on stage. Like if if you're not prepared or something, 8 minutes can.
That's a lot
when you're younger coming
a lot
up.
of material, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean I can do a lot now, but yes, 8 minutes is still a good amount of time. You can get a lot of stuff out. It was really fun to do that, and so I kind of got addicted to it, and I was doing it like every couple weeks. I would do like maybe like a little show or something, and then I kind of started getting more into it and started hitting open mics.
Sorry.
Okay. I feel like those are the comedy guys, just like yelling.
It's the comedy police.
The comedy police are
here. They're here for you.
I love comedy. No, I just started doing like open mics and like kind of like really starting to kind of hone the craft a little bit, and then.
Right, 'cause that's a whole thing that I understand as a stand-up comic. You get out there and you sort of use the material and see how people respond to it.
Totally,
and stuff, right?
Totally, and yeah, you can do that. What's called an open mic, where you go there and you're just doing material to test stuff out, and you can test that at shows as well. Usually, you go to if you're a younger comedian, like kind of where I'm at. You'll go and test out at mics first and then go try it at a show. But you need to have tough skin at a mic, because an open mic is one of the scary, it's just a darkness. I mean, we all love it and we all go out there and we do it, but it's a lot of comedians in the audience who are watching other comedians, and you're kind of just like, all right, I want to get my spot, I want to get up on the stage. So you need to kind of take it with a grain of salt.
Because they don't react like a normal crowd?
Yeah, not typically.
Yeah.
I mean, and people will be out there like, well, if you're funny, they'll laugh. And it's like, not always, you know what I mean? People are just kind of there to get their material out, and they don't really want to sit there and people are writing while you're performing, and it's a very friendly. I'm not saying it's a bad industry. Like your peers are great friends and very supportive, but an open mic can be kind of like a little soul sucking at times, because you might walk up there and be like, I got the best idea for a bit, write it all out, and you go up there and you run at the mic and you're like, oh, that just bombed, and you can feel very like, oh, I'm never gonna do that bit again. But then if you try it at a club or like a regular show, you might get a different reaction from it.
Right. Mm-hmm. That makes total sense, because you're gonna have a bunch of people there just to have fun, and they're probably getting partying or whatever.
Yeah.
And then to them that it really hits the same.
Totally. Yeah.
Hits the note or whatever.
Yeah. Telling a drunk guy a joke is gonna be better, probably, right? He'd be like, oh, yeah, okay, whatever. I'm drunk. I'm having a good time. Right.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's pretty funny, because you want to have obviously the response from everybody, and then you end up working on your material, and you come away with it and just keep tweaking it, and then
I mean, I've had that's my mom.
Oh my god.
That's my mom calling. I told her I was going to be on a show right now, and she is so just like, give me a break, Mom.
Sorry for that, guys. Okay, we have to take a quick break.
I got to talk to my mom.
And we'll be right back.
We'll be right back. That's my mom.
And welcome back to the Red Booth Show. I'm here with comedian Pat Quinn. So you're not only doing stand-up, but you also have stuff on Instagram.
I do.
And that's pretty cool.
It is. It's fun. I mean, you can do whatever you want on Instagram, right? Except for like show certain things in your body. But besides that, you can really kind of like hone your own little channel in there. It's fun.
Well, and your channel's doing really well. You've got a lot of people watching you.
I'm trying. I'm trying to I kind of realized that. You mean in the entertainment industry, you got to use whatever you can as like a marketing tool, and social media is like one of the greatest marketing tools you can have.
Definitely.
I mean, there's just so many options, like things you can do with it, and it's on your own, terms. Like you're promoting yourself in whatever way you want it to be.
That's right. They can't tell you what to do.
Yeah, Zuckerberg. Well, he owns it, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does actually.
We cool. We cool, Zuck. Z.
So when was the first time you decided to create a skit and like put it up there? Like what was that?
On Instagram?
Like? Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I mean,
because he's have all these like funny skits on there, and they're all totally played out, like put together. I mean,
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I would always shoot stuff growing up. I mean, I should try and dig up some of those old videos and post them up there. It'd be really funny.
That would be awesome.
But yeah, I don't know. I think I used to just shoot myself, like doing dumb characters and stuff. And then yeah, we just kind of started posting stuff, and then my buddy and I will shoot like little sketches now, because there's no real reason not to,
Yeah.
Everything's so easy to do.
So does he help you a lot with your skits?
Yeah. My one friend Morgan J. I'll shout him out, morganj.com.
Hey Morgan.
Great musician and comedian and even better friend. And so we'll shoot a lot of videos together, and he has like we just use some of the sketches we've shot, like they look mean, not like I'm saying like they're high budget looking, but a couple of them, like some of the shots we'll get are like sweeping shots, and it's just a little handheld, like little gimbal, and it just makes them super smooth. It's like kind of mind blowing how good that stuff
There's
can
so
look.
many things you can do now just with an iPhone. I mean,
yeah, that's what we have. We have an iPhone or just like a little DSLR.
It's awesome.
And you go out there and you shoot like an amazing porn. You know what I mean?
With your friend.
With my friends, yeah. Friend porn is like the okay porn. And it's all okay. I got no problem with porn. Trust me.
Well, okay, so what's really cute is that you even include your family in it as well, that I noticed.
Oh, my mom?
Yeah,
that video?
yeah, that was funny.
That was actually right when I got back from New York. So I left New York, and I was like, I'm gonna stop in Ohio. I'm from Ohio, so I was gonna swing through Ohio on the way back and surprise my family. And my dad was in on it. He was my accomplice. And
Good job, Dad.
Good job, Pop. And they went and met at this restaurant. And then I walked in, and I don't know if you watched the video.
Yeah.
She did 3 takes.
Yeah.
So I walk in with a menu, like I'm like a waiter, and I go, "Hi, can I get you guys any beverages tonight?" And she went like this, and then she goes,
Totally
she's like the cutest lady of all time. And that was my best performing video. So you know what? I put a lot of work into some of these videos I make, and all I need to do is just surprise my mom, and I'll get the most views out of anything.
Well, I mean, obviously she has no freaking idea that it was that you.
She had no clue.
That you were going to show up there, which is why she didn't recognize you. At
No
first.
clue.
That's hilarious.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
And then she just like hugged me the whole dinner. She's like this, like the most like loving, like sweet lady.
That's awesome.
I'm trying to get her to move out here to LA.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
They would absolutely
Come
hate
and
it.
move out here. Why would they hate it?
She's just very like, they're just like conservative, relaxed, little like Midwest. But they could get used to it. I'm trying to get them to move to San Diego. I think they would like San Diego.
No, it's a nice area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they could handle the San Diego. But I took her to Venice Beach one day, and she about had a panic attack.
Oh, it's a little wild there.
Yeah, I just threw her right in the wolves pit. I was like, "Come on, let's go see it." We're
That's
walking
the
out, and
worst,
she's like putting her hand over, like I'm gonna like something's gonna happen. Like when your mom would like do that in the car when you guys had a quick stop, she put her hand out so you wouldn't like you're like the seatbelt's not enough. We're just gonna Hulk hand me, and she's like stop me with the hand. So that's what she's doing at Venice
Beach. It's like
Beach.
the replacement airbag. Mom
It is. Mom arm. Yeah.
That's right.
There should just be like a big mom arm that just swings out and like catches you when there's an accident.
And you're like the grown man walking in Venice, and she's doing.
And she's grabbing me, and I'm like, "Thank you, God, that you're here. Thank you so much."
When you were growing up, did you like used to do jokes with your mom and stuff? Like, did you?
Did I like goof around with her and prank her and stuff all the time?
Oh my God.
I don't know why this is like the first thing that came to my head. I shouldn't even say this. This is so dumb. But the power went out in our house, and so to mess with my brother, like I just like quickly like pulled my pants down and jumped up on the counter in the dark because I was gonna moon him. And then like right then the lights came back on, so I was like on the counter like butt naked, and my mom happened to walk in, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm like 14. This is awkward. This is super weird. She was like, she went, Patrick, and she like yelled, and then she couldn't like hold her laughter in. And I was like, why are you looking at me? And I ran away. Yeah, she's definitely caught me doing some dumb stuff, but it was always just because I like to get a reaction. I want to get a prank. I want to like goof around, and I guess that's kind of why it's led to where I'm at now with professionally goofing.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like totally went full dream. That's what you're calling it.
Yeah, I went full dream.
Like full retard. That's what I call it.
Yeah.
Not politically correct. Bleep, bleep.
Bleep, bleep.
I'm referring to that movie, okay?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Tropic Thunder, one of the best movies of all time.
Tropic Thunder is awesome.
Underrated. I keep looking at every camera like it's like, you know it, and you know it. Tropic Thunder is one of the greatest movies of all time. It's such a good, it's a great ensemble.
I know.
Super funny.
I love it.
Yeah, there's so many good lines from that movie that I say all the time.
Speaking about movies, do you have any plans for doing something like that, a feature?
I would love to do that. I mean, that's
this
that's
guy
a
right
dream.
here, guys. Check it out.
Check me out. I'm 5'11" on a good day, 170 pounds, a little bit of chest hair. We can work with it. You know? Like a Chris Pratt with like a little bit of Chris Pine. You know what I'm saying? Prime Pat Pratt. Yeah, I would love to do that. I'd love to do feature work and any acting. I've just been doing like a lot of sketch stuff and then like reading for certain things here and there and some commercial work.
This is the place to be.
Yeah. Hopefully some stuff comes of it.
Okay, we have to take another break.
Let's take a break.
All right, we'll be right back with Pat Quinn. And welcome back to the Red Booth Show. I seem to have lost Pat. Pat? Oh, there you are.
Hilarious bit we just did. That's called impromptu comedy. You work with what you got. We had a booth. I laid down, and we played it out.
Yeah, that's right.
We're a good team.
He was
we're
actually
a good
taking it
comedy
out.
team.
See, I should be your manager, actually, I think.
Honestly, I would love that.
There we go. Okay, so we need you to get into a new feature film, new comedy feature film, starring The Rock.
Oh, yeah. Dwayne Johnson's my dream guest.
Definitely.
My dream dinner guest.
And Kevin Hart, obviously.
Oh, man, love him. Yep, put those two dudes together. I would just love, honestly, just to get a hug from Dwayne Johnson.
Could you, like...
I just want to feel like, just to be, I feel like that's probably the most comforting thing that could ever happen.
You'd literally be hugging The Rock.
I know.
That's amazing.
I actually would just probably hug both his boobs. They would just hug me. And his arms would be like an extra
Your head would be like...
Yeah, I would just be like inside of there. That'd be just incredible. And then he could just flex and just pop my head like a zit. If you're listening, Dwayne, I would love for you to pop my head. With your titties. What is happening? I'm sorry. We can keep going now. He is like one of my favorites though. Dwayne, so like right now, obviously him and Kevin Hart are doing a lot of movies together and crushing stuff. They're just so smart, like they had an opportunity. They're both like running with it and getting as many things out as they can right now.
Yeah.
Keep doing it.
I think it's amazing. They're doing so good. Actually, I have had some friends here who've been on the show that work on his radio show that he's doing.
The Rock's doing a radio show?
No, Kevin Hart.
Oh, cool.
So, and he's got like a whole band of comedians and stuff too.
Oh, he has like his Sirius channel or his XM channel?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think they kind of just compile a bunch of like different stand-up clips and stuff like that. Is there an actual like talk show as well?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
yeah.
Cool. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, so they're doing it all on satellite. Have you ever done?
Sweet.
Do you do podcasts and stuff too, or?
Okay, I have 2 podcasts.
I mean, if you don't podcast, then
I know. Are you
you're not really legit.
Are you really even an entertainer? I do a lot of I'll do anybody's podcast. Like I love going on podcasts; they're really fun. But I'm starting up one next week actually with my buddy Morgan.
Cool.
And then hopefully I just do like a little solo one as well on my own.
Wow.
Just kind of like interviewing people. But it's just like a dime a dozen. You need to kind of have like a little bit of a shtick to set yourself apart, I guess.
Well,
There's so many.
you're already online doing really well with your like Instagram, so people I'm sure will like get to your show from that.
Yeah, good point.
To see your podcast,
yeah. I mean, just getting yourself out there is the biggest thing in this industry. So, whatever, there's so many platforms to do it. Might as well keep pushing and do them all.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And do you have any scripts you've been writing or anything?
Of course.
Okay.
I'm out here doing my thing. I'm
feeling.
doing anything I can. No, I'm actually working right now. I'm excited. I'm working on this project with my buddy Mac. This TV show idea that we have, and this is our first time of writing a TV show, and it is hard to do. Writing a TV show is like, so you got to think a little bit longer term, right? Like a feature film is already hard enough, and TV is like, I mean, they're both really hard in their own rights, but just like thinking about like, okay, how can we make this 10 episodes long, and then hopefully like a season 2, 3, and 4. To whatever,
So is this like sort of a skit comedy TV show, or is it more of just a like a narrative that's comedic?
Yeah, it's a comedic narrative. It's like a workplace comedy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like The Office kind of thing.
Kind of like The Office a little bit.
A little bit.
I mean, not really, but that's like if you want to say it.
I'm not trying to compare you to anything. I'm just.
Listen, The Office is gonna just be trembling. It's a good thing that's off the air because otherwise we'd be crushing it when our show comes out. The Office is probably my favorite show of all time.
Really?
If I sit down, I'll just put The Office on.
What do you think about what is that guy? Larry David's show.
Curb Your Enthusiasm?
That kind of comedy.
I love it. Curb is amazing.
Dude, I think it's hilarious, but some people can't handle that style of comedy.
Just like little situational, like observational.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's the cringy comedy, right?
Oh yeah.
Like the most horrible scenarios and.
Yeah, the funny thing is he's so like. In so many ways, he's very relatable. Like little things will happen to him, and you're like, oh my god, that would happen to me. But
and then you're like, shut up, don't say that.
He's like, but he like plays like the scapegoat is like getting in trouble for it. Like there's like one episode where it's called the pants tent. Remember that one where like when he sits down his. Every guy does it. Like your pants kind of buckle up a little bit like that, and every dude does it. But like some girl's next to him, and she's like, oh my god. Yeah. And he goes home to his wife, and she's like, Sarah said you got a boner at the movie theater, and he goes, it's the pants tent. Everyone's like, yeah, we know about the pants tent. I love his humor, and he's also just an awesome guy.
Yeah, I love that show. And also, he obviously wrote Seinfeld, and Seinfeld is one of the biggest original hit comedy shows, I think.
Oh, yeah.
But I hear lately it's been getting some flack because it's not PC or something like that.
I mean, I think anything up until like 5 years ago is gonna get slack or
It's
flack
hard,
about
right?
no matter what. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it hard for you and now? Like, have you had to be like more careful about what you say?
My stuff's all so goofy that I feel like I don't have much of an issue with a lot of it. But like there's been times on stage where I've said something and I'm like, okay, maybe I need to dial that back. It's not like anything like too bad, but it's like enough to be. Everybody just gets their feathers so ruffled like so easily now. And as a comedian, there's people who are trying to say stuff out there, and you have the stage it's a platform to say what you want to say. And I do think that society.
Do you think it's worse now? Like people are way more sensitive?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that we're hitting like a peak of that. Like as far as like people who don't even care about something that you said, they just want to get a rise and they want to make an issue out of it, and they'll like attack you for something, and it doesn't make any sense. It's like, do you really care? Is this really something that you really care about? Because I don't see anything. You're doing nothing else about it except for attacking somebody who said something about it.
That's like a troll, right? Like online. It's like basically just being a troll, but in stand up.
Yeah.
Live.
We get plenty of trolls.
So how do you react to people if you have someone in the crowd that's like being just like a downer?
Like a heckler?
Yeah, what do you do?
I mean, it depends on who they are, what they said, like
Just
what's
beat 'em
kind of
up?
happened.
'Cause that's
oh yeah, you know me. I jump through and I just punch them in the face.
Don't
Yeah, don't you dare. Oh, we can cuss on here? Oh, frick yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, it depends on like what they've said, like where it's at in the act. Like if you say something in the middle of like when I'm getting close to like the end of like a story or a punchline, I'll tear you up. I mean, like it doesn't really matter. Like you have the mic as the comedian, so you have the control. Unless people in the audience are like not agreeing with what you're saying, for the most part, you have the upper hand. And so if somebody yells something up, people are kind of like a little bit offended for you. They're like, dude, we came here as well. We paid money to be here.
Right.
So I mean, I'll have, it depends. Like I'll have fun and I'll goof around. But if it's like a thing where it's upsetting or it ruined a joke, then yeah, maybe I'll ruin your life.
Well,
I don't know.
that's right. So watch out.
Yeah, watch out.
Okay, that's
I'm a
your
mean
warning.
comic. I'm a mean man.
That's
I'm a
the
mean
warning.
comedian.
All right.
Comedy's mean.
Well, actually, on that note, we're at the end of the show.
Oh, this was so fun. Thank you for having me. This
is
is awesome.
Super cool. Thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you so much. This is great.
Everyone should definitely go find you online and
please,
probably just your name, Pat Quinn.
Yeah, it's I'm Pat Quinn. There's all my handles for social media.
I am Pat Quinn.
No am. It's I'm.
Okay.
I need to change. It's so hard to say. I'm
Pat
letter
Quinn.
I, letter M, Pat Quinn.
Impact Quinn. I'm Impact Quinn.
Impact Quinn. Impact Quinn. And then my websites where you can find all that stuff too. It's just iampatquinn.com.
Cool.
That one is I am. So
nice.
Confusing.
Well, go and find him, and I hope we get to see you live at one of the shows upcoming.
Please.
And follow him and
Anytime.
find out when it's going to be.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Awesome. Thanks for
you
being
so
on
much.
the
This
show.
was awesome. Yeah.
Thank you.